Okay, it is henna application time. I like to record this because personally I think it's pretty funny watching me plop all this stuff on my head. Thought I heard meowing, but there's nobody at the back door. Okay, so I need to prop up the phone somehow and get this going. I don't have a lot of gloves left. And it was funny because I had one of my little ethical things, I think every Christian does, even the atheists, I think, probably do, where, we have the exact same type of glove at work for employee use, but it's for employees to use when they're on the clock. So if I want this, I need to pay for it. So I am just going to use the ones I have. I have two. I have about 5, it looks like. Okay. So let's get this party started. Take out the hair thing. It was already dry when I put it up. And what I'm probably going to do is just the whole head treatment because, just get it over with. And the nice thing is the oils and the little routine I've got going now, it's I like how it's my hair's behaving. It's very soft and manageable, but it's not greasy because I have the kind of hair I can just get very, very greasy and it just looks bad. So I had a very, very interesting discussion one time. I'm going to use the shea butter for my hairline. I had a very, very interesting discussion with her one day about hair. I was sitting in the front seat and we were going like downtown to one of Ron's doctors. And Ron fell asleep. And we got to talking about our respective hair. And she was a black lady, and I'm obviously not. As near as I've been told. Oh, someone's banging at the back door. Let me see. Why, hello. It's Mr. Happy Cat. He belongs to a neighbor, but he is not. I mean, they feed him, but that's literally it. He's not neutered. He has ear mites that are bad enough. He's pulling out patches of fur, scratching. Just not a good situation. I am strongly tempted to just steal him, take him to the vet, get him neutered, treated properly, and I'm gonna put this back in the bedroom. Just basically get him fixed up and just keep him. He has made it clear he wants to live here, but I need to pray on that more. I decided to put a little shea butter on my hands and arms. I'm going to put some petroleum jelly on my arms because a lot of times I'll get like blobs of henna when I'm doing this. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video. So, it's just dollar store Vaseline here. And the nice thing about this, it's not bad for my skin. If it gets on a cat, it's no big deal. Okay, I'm just gonna slap on a lot, get good and greasy here, and because it can get rubbed off. Okay, a little bit more because I'll probably get it on this hand. Okay, so there's that. This is an old t-shirt. It is a microfiber t-shirt as well. So Whoops, what is that? Oh, my nasal spray. I'm gonna knock that down. So it doesn't matter if it gets the henna on it, it'll just wash right out. So there's one glove. There's another glove. Whenever I put on a glove like this, I remember right after Ron got hurt, he was in the trauma intensive care unit at Henna Hospital. The name of the unit was shock trauma. And they had about a dozen beds, very intensive nursing, one-on-one care, you know. There was somebody watching everybody all the time, and this is how the henna looks now. Excellent care. I really felt like they treated Ron like he was a VIP. You know, I always felt that way. And so I'm doing it like this. And mush it down in the roots, because the roots are the problem. And but it was a sterile environment. So when you went in, they immediately took you over to the sink, and they had special soap, and there were a couple of sinks actually, and you had to go to the sink and wash your hands and put the gloves on. And I didn't have a problem because I have a food service background, not, you know, entirely food service, but I have worked food service off and on for a period of years. So, you know, it's not a big deal for me. Ron's dad had a lot of trouble with it, though, because he had Parkinson's. And he had trouble getting the glove on his hand. So what we would do when we would go up together, because we were allowed 2 visitors at a time, is we would wash our hands. I would put my gloves on, and then he was washing his hands, and then I would go and I would help him put his gloves on. And he was, you know, Ron said that his dad wasn't a nice guy when he was growing up. He was an alcoholic. He cheated. He beat his mom. But when I knew him, Ron's dad was just the sweetest, nicest guy ever. And just very, very, you know, concerned about Ron and getting Ron what Ron actually needed. Most people, I think, in a situation like a terrible accident, a lot of times the family, especially if they're not saved, they're thinking about, what can I do to make this easy for myself? And that's what a lot of Ron's family was doing. But his dad was like, well, what can we do to make sure Ron has the right outcome? And Ron, he and I were in complete agreement on that. So, I always liked him. He ended up getting the dementia. I believe it was either Alzheimer's or Parkinson's related, or God forbid, it could have been both. And he apparently took the car one day and went on a joyride, and Ron's mother called him in a panic. And when he hung up, Ron's like, what did she think I could do? He said, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm blind. We don't have a car. And after that incident, his dad was placed in a facility. But what the other kids didn't plan on was the fact that his mother was medically needy, and she was falling a lot, and she needed basically one-on-one care. And they had left her basically alone in the house. And, you know, the sister-in-law worked for a home health agency, so they were getting, you know, somebody to come out now and then. But it wasn't enough. And she was, you know, having issues, and they had to put her in the same facility. So it was kind of ironic, because after Ron's accident, his family was talking about putting him in a facility. And it ended up they went. So, I mean, his dad didn't want to do that, but, you know, the other ones, they're like, well, you know, we don't want to take care of him. And I think part of it was, you know, when he was little, his parents worked a lot, and from what Ron said, his mom was gone most of the time, and so she made the other kids the older kids take care of him. Ron was the youngest. And I think they felt like, you know what, I'm done taking care of Ron, and I don't want to help anymore. And that is entirely their choice. I kind of made that choice with someone in my life who was wanting more than I was going to be able to give them. So, you know, when somebody is in a cult and they keep saying, my biggest dream is for you to be in the cult, when you go to visit them and they're taking you to services every single day, when they're a chronic hoarder who won't leave you alone in the hoard for 10 minutes, even when you have a migraine, dragging you out of the house, you know, because they're, I don't know, they didn't want me taking pictures or whatever. And, you know, so I just, you know, I had to cut that off. But, and Mr. Happy Kid's looking good. He's walking down the hall. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, he's a happy boy. He's not a real big cat. I don't know what they're feeding him, but I think when he was little, he wasn't getting kitten food. So, yeah, you know, you get that family stuff going sometimes. It can be a problem. But now he wants to go out. That's him. But I'm a little occupied. So, yeah, that's the thing. But for me, my only concern is I'm afraid something will happen to me. And my parents are very much in the extreme measures category. Now, if something happens to them, I'm going to respect their wishes. But Mom made it pretty clear to me over the years that, you know, if she thought there was a chance, she was just going to, you know, have them do whatever they had to do. And that's not something I'm interested in. You know, so I signed a medical power of attorney for my aunt to make my decisions. It looks like I'm gonna have some leftover. Hi, sweetie. I cannot open the door with this. Okay. And like I said, I don't have a lot of gloves. What I'm going to do is try to focus on this here in the back, because that looks bad. I have a very low hairline in the back from the fetal alcohol syndrome, actually. And I'm going to focus on the front because I have to look at it all the time. And I have a little bit of concern, is this completely saturated, because I don't have my glasses on. And I'm going to have some leftover, which is good. I can always freeze it. I'm going to put a little on the back. Just make sure everything's mushed in properly. Okay. All right, so this is done. Alrighty. I'm not going to walk around the house until this is wrapped up. Oh, and I didn't get anything on my arms. Normally I do. I just got a little bit, but it wiped right off. That is great. Okay, I'm going to remember that. Hey, sweetie. Okay, so, and on my list I have more gloves, of course, and shower caps. I like to use 2 shower caps when I do a henna. And plastic wrap, because I'm about to wrap my head. I don't know if I've done that on video before, but I think it's entertaining. This, oops, I got some on my fingers. I'm going to have to put the gloves on my hands again. So, what I'm going to do is, actually, what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm trying to get the spoon clean enough that I can just throw it in the tub, but I got some stuff on my hands. All right. So here's the plastic wrap. This is a very old plastic wrap I have. And my hands, I think, will be okay. And 2 more gloves. Hopefully this is all I need today. And Mr. Happy Cat has a couple of litter boxes if he needs them. That's him meowing. He likes to kind of hit and run. The interesting thing is I put some food out on the porch for him, man, and he has a water bowl out there too. He may belong to the other neighbor, but that doesn't mean I can't take care of him, feed him at least. Make sure his physical needs are met. All right, so what I like to do is just take it out of the box. And we're going to do it like this. And I'm going to get the back. I'm going to go pretty low. And then I'm going to come up and around. And the trick is just wrapping it up, because it has to stay moist to work. It has to stay moist for 4 to 5 hours. So I'm just going to keep wrapping it. It's sticking a little at the top here. Okay, I think that's good. And then I'm going to kind of go around the top a little. Yeah. Mr. Happy Cat! What is Heather doing? What is Heather doing to her head? Okay. There. All right. There's that. You can go in there. I'm going to leave these gloves on so I can put the leftover henna in a baggie and freeze it. So this is how I look. All right. So I'm going to go from the, I'm going to go from the back to the front. And then I'm going to go from the front to the back, because you see, notice it doesn't go up all the way. So, and I got some henna on my shoulder, but it doesn't matter. Mr.